Have you ever looked at your credit card statement and thought, how did I spend that much? Maybe it started with a dinner here, a tank of gas there, a subscription you forgot about, and a purchase that seemed too small to matter. None of those individual decisions felt dangerous, but somehow they turned into a balance that follows you from paycheck to paycheck. That's the credit card game most of us learned to play without ever realizing there were rules. We were taught that credit cards build credit, earn rewards, provide convenience, and help us handle emergencies. All of that can be true, but nobody spends enough time explaining what happens when convenience turns into dependence. A credit card can make spending feel disconnected from income because you get the product today and deal with the financial consequence later. That delay can completely change how we think about money. And once interest enters the picture, yesterday's purchase starts taking money away from tomorrow's paycheck. So today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the credit card game. We're going to talk about why spending feels so easy, why minimum payments can keep you stuck, why rewards can encourage more spending, and most importantly, how you can stop letting credit cards control your cash flow. Because once you understand the game, you can finally start changing the way you play it. The first part of the credit card game is convenience. Credit cards remove friction from spending. You don't have to physically hand over cash. You don't necessarily feel your checking account decrease immediately. You simply tap, swipe, or click, and the transaction is finished. That sounds harmless, but psychologically, it creates distance between the purchase and the payment. Think about spending $100 in cash. You can physically see the money disappear. Now compare that with putting $100 on a credit card. Your bank account might not change at all that day. That makes the purchase feel easier. Then you do it again. Maybe another $60 for dinner, another $120 for shopping, another $40 online. Each transaction seems manageable because you're not looking at the total picture, but your credit card is keeping score. Eventually, the statement arrives, and all those small decisions appear together. That's when many people experience the shock. The problem isn't necessarily that you made one terrible purchase. It's that dozens of ordinary purchases accumulated without a clear plan for how they would be paid off. This is why available credit should never be confused with available money. If your credit limit is $10,000, you don't have another $10,000 of income. You have access to borrowed money. That's a critical distinction. Your paycheck represents money you've earned. Your savings represent money you've already set aside. Your credit limit represents money you may owe. Once you understand that difference, every swipe starts looking a little different. Then comes one of the most powerful parts of the credit card game, the minimum payment. Let's say you have a $3,000 credit card balance and your minimum payment is $90. You look at the number and think, I can handle $90 and technically, you might be able to make that payment. But here's the question we should really be asking. How long will it take to get rid of the $3,000? The minimum payment is designed to keep your account current. It isn't necessarily designed to help you become debt-free quickly. And when interest is added to the balance, a portion of your payment can go toward the cost of borrowing rather than eliminating the principal. That's where the game becomes expensive. You can spend money once, but you can potentially pay for that decision over and over through interest. Worse, if you're making the minimum payment while continuing to use the card, you can create a cycle that's extremely difficult to break. You pay the card, your available credit increases, you use the card again, and the balance never really goes away. The solution starts with knowing the complete picture. Don't just look at the minimum payment. Look at the balance, interest rate, minimum payment, due date, and how much you're actually paying toward the principal. Then connect those numbers to your paychecks. This is where PaycheckPlanner.ai can help. Instead of treating your credit card bill as an isolated monthly expense, you could look at your income, upcoming bills, debt payments, and cash flow together. Because getting out of debt isn't just about making payments. It's about knowing exactly where your next paycheck needs to go. Now let's talk about the part that makes the credit card game especially clever. Rewards. Cashback, travel points, airline miles, hotel points, sign-up bonuses, and special offers can make spending feel like you're getting ahead. And to be clear, rewards aren't automatically bad. If you're using a credit card for purchases you were already going to make, paying the balance in full, and avoiding interest, rewards can provide legitimate value. The problem happens when the reward becomes the reason you spend. Imagine you're shopping for something that costs $300. You weren't planning to buy it, but your card offers extra points this month. Suddenly, spending $300 feels like a financial opportunity. Or maybe you need to spend another $500 to qualify for a sign-up bonus. So you find ways to spend the extra money. Technically, you're earning rewards, but you're also spending money that wasn't necessarily part of your original plan. That's the trap. We start focusing on the reward instead of the transaction. A 5% reward doesn't make a purchase free. A few thousand travel points don't automatically make an unnecessary expense. Financially smart. And if you're carrying a balance with a high interest rate, the interest you're paying can easily outweigh the rewards you're receiving. The goal isn't to collect the most points. The goal is to build the strongest financial position. If rewards fit inside your financial plan, great. But never let a reward program convince you that spending money you don't have is somehow saving money. That's not winning the game. That's letting the game change your behavior. Here's where the credit card game becomes a cash flow problem. Every unpaid credit card balance represents money from your future that has already been committed. Think about your next paycheck. Before it even arrives, you may already know that part of it is going toward your mortgage or rent, utilities, groceries, transportation, subscriptions, insurance, and debt payments. Now, add credit card debt. Suddenly, part of that paycheck is paying for things you purchased weeks or months ago. That's the hidden cost of debt. You're not just spending today's money. You're borrowing against tomorrow's income. And when enough of your future income gets committed, you can start feeling like you make good money, but somehow never have enough money. That's why budgeting isn't simply about cutting expenses. It's about controlling your cash flow. You need to know what money is coming in, when it arrives, and what obligations are waiting for it. Then you can make intentional decisions about what remains. If you have multiple credit cards, list every balance and interest rate. Choose a payoff strategy. The debt snowball method focuses on smaller balances first, while the debt avalanche method prioritizes higher interest debt. Pick a strategy you can actually stick with. Then, stop adding new debt wherever possible. PaycheckPlanner.ai can help you organize this bigger picture by bringing your paychecks, bills, debts, and upcoming financial obligations together so you can see what your money needs to accomplish before your paycheck even arrives. That's the shift from reacting to money to planning your money. And when you start planning your money, your past purchases don't have to control your future. So how do you finally stop playing the credit card game the way you've always played it? Start by changing the questions you ask before you spend. Instead of asking, "Can I afford the minimum payment?" ask, "Can I afford this purchase without creating a problem for my future cash flow?" Instead of asking, "How many points will I earn?" ask, "Would I buy this if there were no rewards?" And instead of asking, "How much credit do I have available?" ask, "How much money do I actually have available after my obligations?" Those questions completely change the conversation. And if you're already carrying credit card debt, don't let shame keep you from taking action. You don't have to eliminate thousands of dollars overnight. Start by getting organized. Know your balances. Know your interest rates. Know your minimum payments. Know your upcoming bills. Then create a plan for every paycheck. Even an extra $25 or $50 directed toward your target debt can become meaningful when you make it consistently. The goal isn't perfection. The goal is progress. That's why I want you to check out PaycheckPlanner.ai. It can help you organize your paychecks, bills, spending, debt payoff, savings, and financial goals so you're not just hoping your money lasts until the next payday. You're giving every dollar a purpose. If this video helped you understand credit cards differently, hit the like button, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear this message. And remember, because we are building real financial progress, one step at a time. Ready to stop guessing about your money and start giving every paycheck a purpose? Visit PaycheckPlanner.ai and start organizing your cash flow, bills, spending, debt, savings, and financial goals. If you're serious about changing your relationship with money, don't wait for the perfect time. Start with the next paycheck. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who needs to hear it. Thanks for watching, and remember, we are building real financial progress, one step at a time.